Welcome back to the channel. This week we are spending our time with the 2025 Acura Integra Type S. Although there's not many changes here for 2025, I absolutely don't care because of the fact that it is one of my top 5 favorite vehicles I have ever driven. And I drove it back in 2023 or 2024 and I absolutely loved it. So naturally it came back up on the press fleet and I jumped at it pretty much immediately. I love driving this thing. I love it that it's manual. I love it that it's powerful. Look at that triple exhaust right there. 5 more horsepower than the Civic Type R. A little bit better equipped than the Civic Type R. More built for comfort and usability than the Civic Type R, but still has all of that like classic Honda, Acura, really good handling, really good sporty feel. This thing is just a little ripper. So fun to rip around town and stuff like that. So I mean, I love this thing and I think you guys do too. So let's actually just straight up cut right to it. Let's hop in the driver's seat and let's show you what it's got. All right, so on the road, pretty much the second time this week with the Integra Type S. Oh my goodness. It is still one of my favorite vehicles to drive. It is the manual to get into should you want something maybe like a little bit more usable than the Type R, like a little bit more comfortable. I'm driving around in my individual setting. I'm in Sport Plus for pretty much everything except for the comfort. I've got that kind of, dialed back in the suspension way. So like I'm just having a nice ripping time, but at the same time, I'm pretty comfortable and I love that the Integra Type S can do that. It's just such a little monster. This transmission is so easy to use. It's as easy to use as I remember, and I hadn't driven manual in a long time. It's been a good bit since I've taken a manual vehicle, and yeah, I'm just right back to it. And I'm glad that it's this Integra Type S because the transmission feel is so good. The clutch pedal, there's not a lot of engagement from it. I don't really know when it's going to engage. I don't feel that pressure that you do in some of the other manuals, but it doesn't matter because this gear selector is just so smooth. Rev match downshifting, yes, I use it. No, I'm not ashamed of it. And it's just a little rocket. Look at this. Oh my God, that's good. It pops and bangs. It's just, oh yeah, and I can predict it. I can make it happen. It's happening on upshift. It's happening on downshift. It just handles like a little weapon on the road here. Oh my God. I'm going to try to stay out of trouble, but I am definitely going to be visiting the gas station quite a few times this week. And there's just nothing I can do about it. I can't drive this thing slowly and I can't just keep it in comfort mode. I want to hear it, I want to feel it, and I want to drive it at all times, no matter what the weather. We have a perfect day out, which is perfect for this thing. Even last year, I think I had it in like November or something. So to get it like right at the end of the summer where we still have kind of that nice weather. Currently we're sitting at 22 Celsius out here. Very nice weather here for Quebec. Very drivable weather as well. So I can kind of push it a little bit more, and I have been. But even still, I thought it was the winter weather making the car move a lot. But it's just there is so much power and torque for these front wheels. I just feel like I'm moving around a lot just under acceleration, which is fun, but at the same time I feel like if they did put like an SH all-wheel drive in here with the manual, it would just be elite. So it's good. It's still my top 5 because they really haven't changed anything, but there are certain things in here already that I'm noticing that I'm like, man, I wish we had that. I wish we had, there's a few things that I do wish that we had for 2025. Maybe we'll get in 2026. But honestly, if they change nothing, this is still a great platform to hop into right now. It was a great platform to hop into a year or two ago, which is really good news for Acura. I think this is Acura's best vehicle they make. At least for me, this is the best sedan. They do well with the SUVs and stuff, and they feel good, but there is nothing that comes above my Integra Type S when it comes to the Acura platform. I like it slightly more than the Type R, but the Type R has this own feeling to it where it's like, Type R feels more like a race car. This feels more like a adult race car, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's as good, if not better than I remember it, and I'm just better at driving manual transmissions now, so I love it even more, and I'm going to be able to experiment with it a little bit more as well, and I'm just excited for this week. Oh my goodness, it's going to be fun. It's going to be great to live with this thing again. I just can't wait to get into it, get into all the nuances that is owning and driving a Integra Type S, man, this is going to be good. And hopefully the weather stays good, and that way every single day this week I can kind of bring you something cool and show you off every single part of this vehicle. I want you to see it all. I'm not in the winter this time. This is peak time to get the Type S for the Acura Integra. I can't even speak properly. But yeah, rev match downshifting, handles like a demon. It's a street weapon. It's probably pretty good on the track too, but I don't think I'll be able to do that this week, but still. This is going to be a fun week. Stay tuned. I'm going to pick it back up a little bit later. First impressions are they haven't changed anything, and that's absolutely okay. All right, so sitting in the Integra Type S at what you can see is basically like nighttime, but yeah, there's just enough light in here for my camera to pick stuff up. So let's go over it quickly. Pretty much nothing has changed since the last time I've driven it. And that is a good thing because it was good already, but also not a great thing because, well, there's some things that like the Civic and stuff are getting that this simply doesn't have. So let's go over it and I'll kind of show you like as we go through it. So I've got physical controls for the, cruise control stuff, the very limited cruise control stuff that we do have here for the manual. And then of course I've got my volume controls there, no issue. Door controls are all standard. Got a traction control button right there. Got the ELS Studio 3D surround sound system there as well, so no complaints there. And then in terms of gauge cluster, it is very simple, but I don't hate that, right? Like, so you can see as I go through, I can go through different drive modes here. So Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort, whatever it is. Usually I'm riding around in individual, but I can change my left and right screen. Usually this will display like CarPlay or something. You can have different apps. You can customize what you see and what you don't see. It's very easy, very standard to understand. Same thing with the right-hand side there. You can do all of that very easily, but usually I just leave it right here. I do have a heads-up display, which is very nice. But when we move over to our infotainment display, that's where things get a little weird because of the fact that the Civic that I just had is a 2026, and it's run by Google Automotive or Android Automotive. This is very much the old Acura system that is okay and still responsive and does everything it should and it needs to do, but it's just one of those things that are a little on the dated side now in terms of what things are. So I hope that in 2025 we would see an upgrade from the previous generation, but this is very much the same. There's also like no ambient lighting in here. There's nothing, and I feel like the top trim of the Integra should probably get it, which kind of makes me worried because I'm wondering like, are they planning on keeping this thing around? Because if they're not like updating it very much, they're just kind of slapping it around, then I don't know. But the cool thing is I still got these really premium feeling HVAC controls as well. So like nothing is through here. This is very easy to understand. It's one of the more simpler manual cars or manual performance vehicles that you'll get into. So that's really good. And then I like the controls down here as well. Heated steering, of course, heated seats, no ventilation. Would have liked to see that in this price point and at the top trim for the Integra, but still, where it shines is right here. This manual transmission is so good. It is so smooth, so easy to operate and use. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite. There's not a lot of engagement. Like, I don't feel like a lot of pushback from this clutch pedal, but it's still, this makes it so easy. And it's, of course, got the rev match downshifting, so that's very easy. And this is where you're controlling your drive modes, your obviously electronic parking brake hold. You've got the nice Type S. This is like a felt material as well. It's not cheap. Nothing here feels cheap. It feels all very good. Nice cup holders here, a little bit of storage inside of there, and then we of course have the white interior here, so let me show you a bit better. So it's got white interior. I personally think, I don't mind the white, but since I have kids or a child, I would not take the white interior this time. I think I would prefer the red on black. Looks really good here still, but still this is a nice touch, different from what I had last time, so that is good to see some type of change. I'm actually realizing now that as the sun comes out or as the sun goes down, there is ambient lighting. Look at that. Okay, so we do have something going on here in terms of lighting, which is good. I don't remember seeing it last year, but it's possible. But there is a little something happening here, so that's good. Good to know that it is there. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and it's getting pretty dark, so pretty much gonna do. There's no sunroof or anything like that, but you don't really care because this thing just rips and performs really well. So that's kind of the highlight. The highlight is right here and in the handling of this Acura, and those two things it does impeccably well. Oh my goodness, it is such a good thing to drive. But yeah, there's a quick little interior tour in the evening. You can see all the instruments lit up. I think it looks pretty cool, but it's getting dark and you're not going to be able to see anything pretty soon. So I'll cut it here and I'll pick it back up later on in the week. All right, so welcome back outside with the Integra Type S. About halfway point through the week, just before I'm about to take it for another spin here, I I'm in love with this thing. So if you think you've driven an Integra because you've driven like the Integra A spec, you haven't driven the true Integra Type S. You just haven't. There's like so many differences. Like it's just got a wider stance. You can see it's got hips in the front and in the back. You still got like the nice Integra badge. I really love these LEDs. I love this front end. You get kind of this nice hood vent as well, which is real and active, and it probably does help in terms of cooling. You definitely have bigger brakes. You do have the accented Brembos with the Acura logo right on them. Really, really good looking wheels as well. No issue there. They stick, they grab. I really like this blue paint color. It is a seriously attractive paint color mixed with a very good looking car. I mean, this combo is absolute dynamite. I love the rear end. Very, very cool. It is a hatchback. And again, usually I'm not somebody who's hatchback, but I like this version. And of course, you got the 3 tailpipes. You know, it's hot back here too. These things produce some heat, but they produce some serious noise. Got some serious diffuser work down there as well. A tiny little rear wing. Could have been maybe a little bit more exaggerated if they wanted to, but this is not your Type R. This is not meant to go on the racetrack. This is meant to stay right here in the parking lots and in the street and just make it really fun. And look at the hips on the back. You can see the kind of wider body kit it has on it. This thing stock is just really, really good looking and a really, really cool spec. Love the Type S badges everywhere too. You just can't hate on it. You really can't go wrong with it. The only thing I would change is probably the interior color. I'd probably do the black and red with the blue. Looks pretty cool, I think, or just all black with the black and red interior. That is a crazy spec as well. But honestly, however you spec it, it's a nice designed car. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about the spec of the Integra Type S? I want to know your thoughts on this one. Let me know in the comments, and if that's what's next in the video. I don't know. I always do these things out of order, and I kind of just pick it up every day. Let's see. Maybe we'll take it for a ride. Let's take it for a ride. All right, welcome back on the road. 2025 Acura Integra Type S. It has been, we're almost halfway through the week, so it has been a great time because it's just such a good street car. I don't know if it's like meant to go on the track. I'm sure you could, and I'm sure you could probably put in some impressive lap times because it's so compliant. It's a platform that just works with you. You can't really fully disable the stability control. From what I've understood is that you have to kind of go into the service mode and then you can do it from there. But honestly, in the real world, like application and the way that I would use it anyways, like I'm never actually gonna do that and like put my stability control off. I really don't see a need to do that. It just rips even with it on. Like, look at this. You know, and that's me going around cyclists and like, you know, being somewhat responsibly safe while I'm on camera. But like this thing, you know, it just doesn't care. Like it just is compliant. It does exactly what I want it to do. And I know there's going to be a lot of comparison to the Type R, and those comparisons are valid, but this is faster. It does feel faster than the Type R. I have spent a considerable amount of time with the Type R as well, and I'll tell you right now, this feels faster because it is. I think the Type R, though, is a little bit more bitey in the front end. Like, it's more track-oriented. It's a more raw experience in terms of, you know, a performance sedan that is a manual, because there's very few left. And it's not to make the excuse that the Integra Type S is good because it's a manual. It's a good car that happens to also have a great manual transmission, which is really important to me anyways. I like, you know, I need the car to be good handling. I need it to sound good. That it does. It does also sound better than the Type R. If you're wondering, at least in my opinion, it does. Stock for stock, Integra Type S sounds better. But yeah, it's just got such a good transmission. It's easy to use. It's easy to get in this car and drive it quickly. It's just, I'm not a seasoned manual driver. I don't drive them often. I don't drive them every day, you know, unless I get them as a press car for a week. And in that case, well, I drive the pants off of them. But it's rare, especially now. It's becoming increasingly more rare. I can only get, you know, BMW has a certain amount. Mercedes almost has nothing left in terms of manual. So like the days of being able to get a manual transmission in a sedan, let alone in any vehicle, is very rare. So this thing is just so compliant. I just love to be able to get in it, rip it around, or when you are stuck behind slower traffic, when you're stuck behind a Honda Civic that doesn't have a Type R build, or like, you know, isn't some crazy fast machine, like, it still is engaging, it still is fun, and it still has that comfort. I can still just pop it into comfort mode in traffic and be completely fine. Granted, this week I'm absolutely not in comfort mode at all, ever, because I only got a week with it, and I'm going to enjoy it. But just look at this, turning around, giving it some speed, third gear. Even in third gear, it deploys so much torque. It's still got so much torque at the ready. I think it just, on the track even, just yank you out of corners. It is a lot of money for an all-wheel drive, or not an all-wheel drive, a front-wheel drive vehicle, and that is completely justifiable. But I think that people that get it, people that really like Acura and Honda products, they're really going to like this, because it's got so much of that, great handling, the DNA, the transmission is butter. It sounds really good. Like, there's a lot to be attracted to here. There's just, the fact that it is $60,000 or more than that, probably, if you're talking Canadian, and that does hurt itself, because there's not a lot of people in my generation that can actually afford that. And also, I would have liked to see, for $6,000, things like ventilated seats. Like, if we're going to go there, let's go all the way there, and not, try to make this oriented towards a track, and sort of like, let's not go in the middle. This is a street car that it absolutely rips, and it's so much fun to drive on the street. Let's just keep it right there. Give me the heated seats, maybe give me a bigger infotainment display. Like, let's go all out. And if you don't want to do that, well, then let's go the other way and make this thing a track weapon. Give me racing seats, or at least the option to put in racing seats. And I think it gets a lot better for its money if you do that. Obviously, if Acura actually does that, this thing will be worth a lot more money. They will charge more just simply for having those things. But yeah, overall, I love this thing just as much as I did the first time, even though it feels so similar. I still love driving around it. It's not boring in traffic. I can be fast with it when I want to, which is generally all the time, and I can be slow when I need to, which is some of the time, because I'm stuck in traffic. I do live in Montreal after all, and there is traffic out the waz all the time, no matter what I do. But I'm still getting an engaging driving experience, and I'm having a great time no matter what condition I find myself in with the Type S. So let me know what you think so far of the driving. What do you think about the interior, the specs so far? I want to know your thoughts. Are you interested in this? Are you watching the video because you're interested in this? Tell me everything. Tell me all of your thoughts on this Integra Type S, and I'll pick it back up a little later. All right, let's next take a look underneath the hood for our Integra Type S this week. You can see they've put some effort into this engine compartment, right? So you can see we got the Type S badge there, as well as the Acura badge. You kind of got a carbon fiber looking engine cover, as well as you can see the actual hood vent that I was talking about before. You can see that it's actually there. And yeah, this is a very, very good looking engine compartment, I must say. It looks very good, very nice, very well put together, very well pieced together. I think it's got a good package on it, I think, and I just enjoy looking at it. And the only thing I will say is it doesn't have the automatic, or I don't know, I forget what they're called, but basically you have to use the old way to keep it up. But that's really my only complaint, if any. But yeah, this looks really cool, really solid. Not a big engine, but it definitely packs a punch. It's got 320 horsepower and I think over 300 pound-feet of torque. It's front-wheel drive, but it is paired with that 6-speed manual transmission, which is just a great deal. All right, unfortunately, welcome back outside for the last time with the 2025 Acura Integra Type S. One last solid, nice look at this thing. It's just been such a great time to drive this thing again. I'm so glad that I took the opportunity once again to get behind the wheel of it. A great manual transmission paired with a genuinely really easy and nice to drive vehicle. It's not often that you get both. Sometimes the car is just good because it's manual, sometimes it's good because it's both. In the case of the Integra Type S, it is absolutely both. I think if I was to get the choice between this or the Type R and the Civic, I would take this. This is more of the street weapon, but it's a little bit more mature, a little bit less boy racer, but sounds way better. Look at that triple exhaust back there. Look at the hips on it. It's aggressive. It's got a very nice interior as well, a really good manual transmission, but also so does the Civic Type R. That also has a very good transmission. Honda just knows what they're doing, and so does Acura, for that matter, when it comes to manual driving, still in 2025. And I'm so glad that in 2025 we still get a vehicle like this that is still able to put in the reps with a manual transmission. And I have had a blast driving it. But of course, I want to know what you think. How do you feel about the specs? How do you feel about, the blue color, the interior? I want to know your thoughts. And if you own one, let me know how it has been to actually live with one full time. I only get to do it for a week, so I'd love to know your thoughts on it. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.